Basically, my first comment is India at 75 is a very important year for the country as a whole. In my mind, it is going to be a game changer because I think by 2022, that is next year, we will be significantly ahead of our problem of COVID. COVID has done a great damage to this country in terms of MSME sector. Many of the large companies, some of them have recovered, some of them are in recovery process, but many of the small and micro industries have suffered badly. And by 2022, which is the 75th year, I am going to see. I'm very optimistic that it will be a very great period for them. The second one is what are the three or four things which I'm really excited about? The first is I think we have a prime minister who is very focused on making India back in the top five list in the world, the top three in terms of GDP, but we need to be in top 5 or 10 in terms of other parameters like health, other parameters like cleanliness. Like we talked about, his major mission was to bring in Swachh Bharat. So in many dimensions, India has to make a lot of progress. So I'm very optimistic because of the Prime Minister is really the kind of leader I would like to see who can drive this country towards the right direction on many of the dimensions. So that's a good news. That's point number one. The second one, of course, is that the economy, which is going through a bad time, I think will revive. In 2022, I think there were some projections, but I'm looking at compared to 21, 22, 22, 23, which is really the comparison you would like to see anywhere between 8% to 12% GDP growth because you need to make up for deficiencies of the last year. So the entire economy has gone into negative mode now. This year is a negative year. So next year, that is 21, 22 will be recovery and 22, 23 will be a great year. So economy will be in our favor. Our prime minister is still in a strong position to dictate and make the country forward. And the third aspect, I think for the first time, we are going to see a lot of entrepreneurship focus is coming into India. I also again thank the Prime Minister for picking up the slogan that the entrepreneurs are the most important people in the Indian economy. Uh, I think that's a very important slogan he made, and he said that wealth creation is acceptable as long as it's legitimate, and we need to support entrepreneurs. And I'll explain why everybody, including you and me, should support entrepreneurs. Let's understand where does the government get the money from? Money, government money, which is basically form of taxes, direct taxes, indirect taxes, or municipal taxes, all majority come from entrepreneurs. It is the entrepreneurs who go set up the businesses, invest money, run the operations, collect all the money from the customers, and then pay the taxes. So effectively, the entrepreneur shut down, the government will have no revenue. The second part, all the government schemes such as farmer credit, we are giving a write-off of farmer loans or giving some direct cash transfer. All of them come from the contributions made by entrepreneur. So I think the bureaucracy, the many people in the economy have not understood that. They always looked at entrepreneurs with suspicion. I think that is going to change in 75. Between 2022 to 2027, I would see India putting entrepreneurs, especially micro entrepreneurs. I'm not a big supporter of large company, large entrepreneurs. They can take care of themselves. We need to support the micro and small entrepreneurs and put them in the center stage. Treat them with respect. Give them the freedom when they make mistakes. Don't penalize them. Give them an opportunity to correct themselves. So we need to do what China did to support and expand the entrepreneur base. So these are three positive things I see in India at 75. But let me talk about three things which worries me. Number one, everybody agrees with me, employment. We are not creating enough jobs for our young people. On one side, we have entered the demographic dividend. What it means is till, if my memory serves me right, till 2055, and from the last year, I think 2019, if I remember correctly, India has entered the so-called golden period, which means that the average age of the organization of the India as a country is very low, and we'll continue to have young people who will support the retired people. In when we talk about demographic dividend, the people who are working age are significantly higher than the people who are retired, and therefore the working age population can support the young students who are less than 15 or 16 years, and also support over 65. So this golden period, if we have to really reap the benefit, we have to put them to work. Unfortunately, we're not putting our youth to work. There's a huge gap between what the job market is growing and the number of people entering the working age group. So this is going to be a number one problem. The second problem, I think, in my mind, is the fiscal discipline of both the central government and the state government. We cannot continue to support and win elections by populistic schemes. I think, I hope the Prime Minister, hope the Chief Ministers, at some point of time, take a view that we need to look at the country in a longer term, the state in a longer term, and can't make populistic policies because there is no money. If the industry or the entrepreneurs don't generate the money, there's no money to pay. So my second biggest concern is that we need to put the uh, um, populistic style of working of the state and central government into some kind of a spotlight, some scrutiny, so that we need to have a balance. And the third aspect of being all of us are going to be worried about is the environment. I think on one side we're talking about global warming, we're talking about our pollution in the cities. I think we everybody knew how many of the Chinese cities were shut down because of fog, and that's going to be a air quality, water quality, these and global warming. These three things are going to come back to haunt us in India at 75. So this is, in summary, what I think are three great things going to happen and three big challenges we have. And I hope that the leaders at the top, both at the central and the state government, will recognize that this is a golden opportunity. We can't miss the bus now anymore. We missed the manufacturing bus which China took, and we have a services bus with us. We have the high-tech bus with the buses full of people in the AIML. We can be the skill bus. We can supply the skilled manpower to the whole world from India. But I think both the business leadership and the the state leadership have to come together. We need to work very closely, trust each other, and co-create a future for India in the next 25 years, so that in India reaches 100, this poverty, these challenges of bureaucracy coming in the way of entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship becoming more responsible and accountable to the people and the environment. All this will happen, and we will be a very progressive country by India's 1,100. Thank you.